coming in at number 6 is Bang from SKT. We are reaching up pretty high here. These are the super elite at Worlds. Bang is 8th on my list, 6th on Deficios, and 7th on Spawns. Plus, we'll have that little Prey Bang discussion where Spawn had him ranked differently, but we'll start with Deficio. You have him the highest.
Yeah, Bang, his biggest weakness or biggest problem is the fact that his team around him has actually not been doing very well. A lot of it comes down to jungle issues, for sure. Bang as an AD carry, however, has just been consistently so good throughout his entire career, and still when SKT is slumping, he's doing extremely well. Summer split, damage per minute, he's the highest of any player in LCK, any player. This guy, whenever you get to late game team fights, if I could pick one AD carry, I would put in there every single time. And now I know this is where it gets crazy.
We do have an AD carry ranked higher than him on the list.
But I would take Bang, just due to his experience and the consistency he's shown in so many international tournaments. I am really, really high on him, and I think actually a lot of people kind of undervalue him a little bit because SKT didn't have the greatest split. And like his laning phase is just like, it's kind of okay. Also because Wolf and him together, they're just a kind of standard bottom lane in the laning phase.
I think this guy has been a little historically undervalued because he's in the shadow of Faker, so to speak. But they build so many team compositions around Bang, and I think that speaks to his strengths. Also, if we even look at the most recent international competition, when they were able to win MSI, like, I was talking with COD afterwards, and they were just talking about how insane his Ezreal was. Better than they had ever seen. Like, he was initiating fights on Ezreal, and they couldn't catch him. Like, he has very smart positioning, and he has the right blend of aggression as well as safety in team fights, which is incredibly hard to say. But we have 6 AD carries in the top 20, and one guy ranked higher than this. We'll get into that when we get to a higher ranked player. But yeah, Bang, I have a lot of very positive things to say about
I think his damage per minute and the fact that he can play these medium range AD carries like the Ezreal, like the Lucian, to such a high skill ceiling proves how good this guy is. I don't think anyone's going to debate how he approaches team fights. He knows when he can go aggressive. He knows when he needs to play defensive. The laning phase is something I want to hit on because I used to think it was a liability in the fact that you could attack it, not that it was poorer than other teams. If there was an area of the legendary SKT you were going to open up, it was probably the bottom lane laning phase. It's gotten better, actually. I think that Wolf and Bang are starting to get okay in that regard. It's just that the rest of the map, whilst they were trying to fix that problem, got significantly weaker. And I think that right now, SKT as an overall whole is playing through Bang to a good amount of level, and he is putting up the numbers. But as a team, they're not as dominant as they were.
No, I mean, so with Bang, if you had Faker just playing like Lulu support or Lulu mid lane like he used to do like every game, Bang would just like move even further up the list because he's so good in team fights. I do agree where you attack him is in the laning phase. Guaranteed. I actually think Korean bot lanes haven't been that strong this split, and that's also why him and Wolf have just been doing like fine. I look back at numbers at MSI just from standard laning, so removed all the lane swaps, looked at the numbers for like Bang and Wolf. I see his difference at 10 and 15 minutes. It's like 1 or 2 CS for Bang. It's nothing really major, but he had 12 kills. And it wasn't 12 kills, like, this is before 15 minutes, he had 12 kills. It wasn't 12 kills by killing the lane opponent. It's because SKT would then have like a dragon fight down there. They would have a fight around whatever invade they had, and Bang would join instantly and pick up a few kills here and there. Did it multiple times. So this guy in team fights is an absolute monster, and that's what I really like about him.
And it's funny because so many times with these top players, we talk about their weaknesses, but it's actually just how the team sets up the game. They don't need to get ahead in the laning phase because they are incredibly confident that if they are even or slightly ahead when it gets to team fights, Faker, Bang going to be able to take over. So I do agree with the point. I think that, it's just all about perspective, and for what this guy does, which is a team fighting AD carry on, high mobility, he does incredibly well.
And I think we also have to talk about the AD carry versus the support, because so often we group these guys together, but in this particular case, we have Bang up at number 6, but we don't have Wolf on our list. And that's not to say that like Wolf is terrible or anything, but he doesn't seem to be in that elite class. He gets cut out too much. He doesn't make as many of the impressive plays, which kind of almost enhances Bang's case, but it also kind of prevents him from being in that top 5, because unless they have that super dominant laning phase where it can really look like he's going super aggressive, he's not going to be in the top 5. But either way, he's in an incredibly elite class.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned all the right points here about why he's not higher on the list. I think if you have a team that plays purely around him, you have a much better laning support next to him, I think Bang goes higher. I think he actually goes up and overtakes the AD carry we have above him, which of course is Deft.
Yeah, we'll get to Deft in a bit, but for now, Bang, second highest ranked AD carry on our list, and number 6 overall.